Hey everyone, and welcome to your January 2023 readings. I hope that this year is off to a really great start for you. We're going to get right into it, so I'm just going to say a couple things really quickly. If this message resonates with you, please consider giving it a like. This is a new channel I'm going to be spending a lot more time building, and it kind of helps it out, so that would be appreciated. Also, if you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing as well, because I'm going to be putting out a lot more content. There's going to be full moon readings, new moon readings, plus the monthly readings and some astrology stuff on the horizon for 2023. Also, if you're not following me over on Instagram, consider following me over there, just because I hop on and do something monthly that I'm bringing back called Cards and Cocktails, which is just really fun to do. I also do random readings. I just pop on and decide that I want to do that. So if you want kind of like free quickie readings, that's a good place to find me. Last thing I'll say is if you want to book a personal reading with me, all of that information is down below. So I'll see you in the reading. Bye. Hello, Pisces, and welcome to your January 2023, so weird to say, reading. All right, let's take a look at what we've got going on for the month of January for you. We're going to take a look at a progression. We're going to see what's happening for the beginning, middle, and end of the month so we can get a sense of how the energy is building up going into February. I'm feeling this card here, and yeah, here. Different, very different from any of the readings that I've had today. All right, so here we've got the beginning, middle, and the end of the month looks pretty interesting. So we'll keep these together. All right, make sure that these are all in frame. Forgive the glare. It's been stormy and snowy and rainy here, so I've had to put a lot of different lights on. All right, so let's look at what's going on for you. We come into the beginning of the month with the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is really nurturing, very much about creating a space that feels loving and warm and safe emotionally. And also, like, imagine if you were swaddled, like even as an adult, in the times where you've had the worst heartache or experiences that have been the most stressful or hard on you in your life, and imagine that you were swaddled by some giantess and you were hummed to sleep. That's what this energy is like for the Queen of Cups. So we come into the beginning of the month with you, I think, needing to pay attention to how you can self-care on this level. You know, we're dealing with the retrogrades that we have right off. I mean, the two that are the most prominent are Mars is still retrograde, about to come out of retrograde a little bit after the middle of the month. But in the beginning of the month, still retrograde in, in tropical astrology at least. It's in Gemini, but also we have Mercury right before we go into, January, having gone retrograde as well, and in Capricorn, right, in the tropical astrology system, right, not sidereal. So here we have like this slowing down of energy that is happening. And so I feel like this is really conducive to this particular card, the energy of this card, which is like to be in your feels, to be in your emotion, to be in what feels nurturing and natural and what feels good and what flows, right? To let it just flow, let the waters run clean. And that feels really good, right? Interestingly enough, we move into the middle of the month and we find that there is this search for truth, search for answers. I mean, the reason that I say that, like the Hanged Man is often talked about as feeling like a stuckness, and maybe you do feel stuck. Maybe you move from an emotional sensory space into the middle of the month and you feel like there is like this kind of stuckness that happens for you, perhaps. And you feel like you need to seek the answers from a higher power, from a higher source. And that could be true. And also for some of you, there might be this experience, because this is a collective reading, I'm trying to cover a lot of ground, right? But for some of you, this is very much like Odin on Yggdrasil, who spent 9 days and nights hanging upside down, without food or water, to gain the knowledge of the gods, to gain wisdom. And so this is about communing. You see like the halo that surrounds a lot of the saints as well here. And so it's gaining a sense of knowledge from the root to the crown all the way through, allowing it to trickle into your higher consciousness. So allowing it to go from the grounded spaces, from the very basic material pieces of your life, into your more spiritual senses. Now, for some of you, that might be feeling above your current space, where you're like, yeah, that doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't really make sense. But for some of you, I think that's going to resonate. For the rest of you, I'm going to say that the basic way that I can talk about this, not basic as in like basic judgment, I mean like the more fundamental part of this particular card is really still very potent and powerful, which is that you need to be able to look at things from a very different perspective. Whatever it is that you're trying to figure out in your life, Pisces, especially if you have really strong Piscean or Neptunian placements in your natal chart, right? You might be really sensitive, and this is a place where you need to really pay attention to how you can bring in wisdom and knowledge from different sources, and look at things from different perspective to allow messages to come through in different ways, right? So I don't know if you ever have had the experience of like, maybe when you were a kid, you like hung upside down from monkey bars, or like a bed or a couch or whatever, and you looked at the world upside down and you're just like, whoa, the world looks so different this way. I could like walk on the walls or the ceiling, or whatever it is, right? And so there's a different perspective, but with that different perspective comes a lot of insight and a lot of creative ways of moving through your world. So if you are feeling stuck, this is about shifting your perspective, thinking outside the box, like really, like literally even. Like, I'm not even kidding. I, as an adult, have done this, where I have turned myself upside down and looked at the world and gone like, just let my mind run. And I have come up with some really creative ideas to solutions to my experiences. So that's what I see coming up in the beginning and the middle of the month. Now, when we come to the end of the month, it's really interesting because we have a lot of energy that is really potent, right? We have the Justice card, the 8 of Cups, and the 10 of Cups, right? So I think this is really about being true to yourself, really being honest with yourself about what it is that you want, and balancing that with everything else. There is something that has been weighing you down, probably that has to do with this, probably the reason that this even came in, right? So like, meaning like probably the reason that you feel stuck, probably the reason that you've needed nurturing in the first place, something that feels really heavy where you're going to need to just let that shit go. I feel like this is going to, even though this is an eclipse card, I feel like this is going to actually happen after or around the full moon, which is on the 6th of January. And there's some kind of insight that's going to come with that. Usually this particular card, the 8 of Cups, is about like this. Oh, sorry, I didn't show you the one. Make sure that I show you the Justice card. And we're talking about the 8 of Cups now. This card is about going on a personal, like, spiritual journey, right? So going on a spiritual journey and needing to, like, and that could be spiritual, right? That can mean a lot of different things, but really this is just about going on a personal journey, like going within yourself, going on into your personal growth, and leaving behind the things that are too heavy, the things that have weighed you down. Maybe you're having some conflict about like what it is that you need to do and how you need to move forward and how to nourish yourself because this has been too heavy, right? And so like this is a time for you to actually put some attention on yourself and to go inward and to make this journey about yourself. There's something that you're reaching towards, that you're wanting to actually create. And I think that you become more present to, that you become more aware of, at least, or that you are honoring more or paying attention to more the vision, the version of your life that you're wanting to create. Now, in the past, when the Rider-Waite deck was created, which this is based on, you know, the fulfillment of desire and our most fulfilled life and what would feel the best to us was depicted as a man and a woman together, partners with children, one of each, and they have land and a house, and there's a rainbow, and everything feels good, and that's like a white mare that looks almost like a unicorn, right? So like interpret this as whatever would feel the actual best for you. So whoever your partner would be, or partners, plural, right? And whatever your vision of your most whatever is your desirous future that feels the most blissful to you, that's what this card represents, you know. And in order to be in this place, in order to consider what it is that you want, you need to be true to yourself. You need to take some time to yourself and possibly go on a personal spiritual journey of some sort, you know. And that can mean a lot of different things. For some people that means Vipassana for 10 days. Not for me, but for some people it means that, right? For some other people that means taking a day to go into nature. They go, you know, take a mild dose of mushrooms in the morning and spend the whole day in nature, you know, and hiking or whatever, you know. It's like, it's, everyone has their own version of what it is. By the way, I'm not recommending that. just because I think I need to say that, because this is going on to the internet. I'm just saying that a lot of people have a lot of different ways of how they come to themselves. This could be journaling for days on end. This could be meditating. This could be, you know, hiking with friends and then meditating. I don't know, but there is a process to this, and it feels like it's more potent at the end of the month. You know, the beginning of the month feels like more self-care. The middle of the month feels like you're really trying to get some answers. And the end of the month is like there's some kind of journey that is beginning or that is processing, and it's like churning right here, right? So let's take a look at what's coming through for your challenge. I don't know why I felt 3, but I did. So we have your challenge cards. We'll get into that, but let's take a look at what's coming up for your spiritual advice. If there was any spiritual advice, that would be amazing. Of course, that would be it. It's going to. That's just my mind wanting to like make these all feel in alignment. All right, so interesting, Pisces. I think that you're going to have a lot to feel and deal with, right? You need to watch your emotions and make sure that you're not allowing your emotions to rule you. Not that you need to rule your emotions, but you need to not allow them to rule you. You cannot rule a kingdom and be an emotional wreck and be all over the place, right? So you need to be able to get a hold of your emotions, and that's something that you're going to have to train yourself in. That's something that is, I know, difficult if you have a lot of strong Neptunian or Piscean placements, right? So depending on your chart and where that lies, this may be really difficult for you, but like if there's ever going to be a challenge for someone in this particular sign that has a strong association with this particular sign with Pisces, this would definitely be it. You cannot allow your emotions to rule you. You need to be able to be with them and widen your capacity to be with them. What's really interesting, and this is why I like working across different decks, check it out. 8 of Cups, 8 of Cups. So the end of the month, we have your challenge really making itself apparent at the end of the month in January, right? There is a heaviness, there is a something that needs to be addressed and let go of. There's something that feels weighty and weighed down, and that you need to go inward and to do the inner work. You need to go on some kind of personal journey. Maybe that's an entheogen journey, right? Perhaps it is. Maybe you're working with a shaman or someone who does microdosing, and by the way, I have resources for that if you want. But you know, perhaps it has something to do with that. Now, as you're growing and moving through all these experiences, it's like you feel like you've gone through a lot of battles. Like you're just feeling battle worn to get to this place in your life where you're like, oh, I've had to do so much to get here, to achieve this level of stability, just to be here. Like, you know, for someone who has really strong 12th house, Piscean, Neptunian placements, the world can feel like it is too goddamn much. So this is you holding the line. When you get to a new level in life, often there will be challengers, whether that be people or that be life situations. And there is like, it's almost like you're being tested, like your mettle is being tested. And so there is your dedication. Can you guys hear my cat snoring? There's dedication to your holding the line, holding your higher position, right? Because there's a temptation to be pulled back into other situations, to be pulled back into your past, into things that were heavier, the things that you feel stuck with. I feel like for you guys, it's like this is something that you're trying to move through, you're trying to process, and it feels heavy and it feels stuck and it feels like a lot of emotion, and you're like having to self-care, and you're just like, I just want to get to this place, I just want to get here. But you need to hold the line, be patient, be persistent, be diligent, right? Because it's hard. These are the challenges. These are the things that are going to feel hard this month, right? And then what we come into is your spiritual advice, which I love your spiritual advice. So we have the Chariot as your spiritual advice. Now, if we're going to look at the Chariot, we're going to look at basically my word for the Chariot is alignment, right? So you need to align your heart, your mind, your will, your solar plexus, your celestial connections, right? In every single way. If you are someone who practices energy, if you're someone who practices yoga or whatever, different kinds of experiences where you're tapped into energy centers, this is about you really truly aligning, not fake ass aligning, not you imagine it in your imagination mind's eye only. This is about you taking what you feel, what you desire more than anything in this universe that you could ever imagine, and you connect that with your soul, with your mind, with your heart, and you decide to make that the priority. And when you align that and you decide, I am not going to make any choice that is not aligned with this feeling, with how I want to feel, with how I want my daily life to feel, with how I want my overall life to feel, when you make the decision and you decide, I'm not going to allow myself to deviate from this path, every choice that I make, every yes that I say is in alignment with how I want my life to look and to feel. That's it. That is the Chariot. Because you know what? Even if you do it as an experiment for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, what do you have to lose? You come out on the other side with having made choices where everything that you've chosen has felt good, has felt in alignment, has been building on a life that feels more expansive, more passionate, more alive than you've ever felt in your life. How can you lose with that? That's what the Chariot is. The Chariot is such an amazing go card. It's action, it's go. And you might feel, because of the astrology, that you can't like move forward at the pace that you want, but that gives you time. The benefit is it gives you time to actually align with how you want to move forward. So get in alignment, take the time, nurture yourself, get the answers, be true to yourself. Go inward. Ask yourself, how do you want to create your life? What is it that you actually want? Align yourself with that and move forward. So that's what I've got for you, Pisces. Thank you for being here. If this resonated with you, please give this video a like. It helps me to build the channel as I move forward. If you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. It takes just a second. It allows me to let you know when I have new videos coming out. I'm actually going to be putting out a lot more content, not just monthlies, but new moon, full moon readings. As soon as I get enough subscribers, I will be doing lives here, probably weekly. So I also have astrology readings coming up on the horizon. If you're not following me on Instagram, definitely follow me there, because until I have enough people to stream here, I stream over there. I just pop on randomly to do readings whenever I feel like it. I'm also bringing back cards and cocktails, which is just a really fun way to say, hey, spirituality doesn't have to be so goddamn serious. We can be connected to our higher source and have a good time. So anyway, that's what I got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys on the next video. Thanks. Bye.